I know I was undersized going against DB, and so trying to just be as active as I could, get my hands on as many balls as I could, and take advantage of that.
Stephanie White couldn't believe her eyes. Caitlin Clark and Lexie Hull were pushing themselves harder than ever in a high-intensity training session that had everyone talking. With the 2025 WNBA season just around the corner, these two Indiana Fever players weren't taking any shortcuts. They were grinding in the gym, testing their limits, and proving their dedication to the game. Fans were already buzzing about the Fever's potential this season, but it was White's reaction that stood out the most. The Fever's head coach had seen plenty of players work hard, but something about this session left her stunned. But first, let's rewind a bit. Caitlin Clark and Lexie Hull built a strong bond during Clark's rookie season, but after the offseason, fans hadn't seen much of them together, until now. Their chemistry was on full display in the gym, with both players feeding off each other's energy. Clark had been quiet during the break, staying out of the spotlight as she worked on her game behind the scenes. Hull, on the other hand, had just come off a championship run with Rose BC in the Unrivaled League. Now they were back together, locked in and focused on making the Fever a real contender.
Yeah, look at that!
In the gym, their connection was undeniable. Whether they were lifting weights, running drills, or testing their endurance, Clark and Hull weren't just teammates anymore. They were training partners, pushing each other to be the best versions of themselves. White could see it, and so could the fans. If this was just a glimpse of what was to come, the rest of the WNBA needed to take notice. Stephanie White had seen great players train before. She had coached some of the best. But what she saw in Caitlin Clark and Lexie Hull during this workout left her speechless. Clark was locked in, her focus sharper than ever. Every shot she took was precise, every movement had a purpose. She wasn't just practicing, she was perfecting her craft. Hull, fresh off her championship run with Rose BC, was right there with her. She attacked every drill with intensity, showing just how much she had grown as a player. The two of them didn't just work hard, they worked together. Clark set up Hull for shots. Hull challenged Clark on defense. They moved like they had been playing together for years. White stood on the sideline, watching in awe. She knew they were good, but in that moment she realized they could be great. This wasn't just about getting ready for the season, this was about building something special. White could see the fire in their eyes. She could feel the energy in the gym, and she knew if they kept this up, the Indiana Fever would be a force to be reckoned with. As soon as clips from the training session hit the internet, fans went wild. Social media exploded with excitement. Some were amazed by Clark's relentless work ethic. Others couldn't believe how much Hull had improved. Together, they looked unstoppable.
Okay, taste test, we got our golden mugs, tumblers, they're ginormous.
One fan wrote, "Clark lives in the gym. You can just see her getting better every day." Another said, "Hull is finally getting the chance to shine. She's gonna be a problem this season." The hype wasn't just coming from Fever fans. WNBA followers from all over were taking notice. Some even started comparing Clark and Hull's chemistry to some of the great duos in league history. Could they be the next big thing? With the new season getting closer, the excitement kept growing. People wanted to see more. They wanted to know if this hard work would translate to the court. One thing was certain, the Fever were no longer just another team. They were a team with something to prove, and fans couldn't wait to see them in action. Lexie Hull has never been the flashiest player on the court, but that doesn't mean she isn't important. In fact, her role on the 2025 Indiana Fever roster might be bigger than ever. Last season, Hull didn't always get big minutes. With stars like Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston leading the team, she had to fight for her spot. But something changed after the Olympic break. Hull stepped up. She hit big shots, played tough defense, and gave the team the energy they needed.
All right, we're back with another weight room lift. Here we go. Oh, the girl is strong. Lexie's wearing a stupid little outfit. Cute. Yes.
Now with the new season on the horizon, Hull's place on the team is clearer. She doesn't need to be the top scorer. She doesn't need to be the star. What she brings is grit, hustle, and a defensive mindset that the Fever desperately need. Coach Stephanie White sees her value. Hull can guard tough opponents, stretch the floor with her shooting, and make the little plays that don't always show up in the box score. She might not get all the attention, but she is the kind of player that helps teams win. Caitlin Clark knows talent when she sees it, and when it comes to Lexie Hull, she has nothing but respect. After a big Fever win last season, Clark was quick to give Hull credit. "She just works so hard," Clark said. "She does all the little things that help us win." It wasn't just words. Clark truly believed Hull was making a difference. Clark and Hull's connection on the court has only grown stronger. Clark trusts Hull to hit open shots. She knows Hull will play tough defense. And most importantly, she knows Hull will always put the team first. Fans may focus on Clark's scoring, but she understands that basketball is a team game, and she sees Hull as a key piece of the Fever's success. With Clark leading the offense and Hull locking in on defense, this duo could be one of the most underrated in the league. Stephanie White knows that the Indiana Fever have the talent to be great, but talent alone isn't enough. To win, they need the right game plan, and White is making sure her team is ready. One big focus is defense. Last season, the Fever struggled to stop top teams. White wants that to change. Players like Lexie Hull will be key to making it happen. Hull's energy and ability to guard multiple positions will be a big part of White's strategy. Another part of the plan is ball movement. Clark is one of the best passers in the league, but the team can't just rely on her. White wants everyone to get involved, from Aaliyah Boston in the paint to Kelsey Mitchell on the wing. Hull's ability to space the floor will help the team create better shots. White has also talked about keeping Clark fresh. Clark can't do everything by herself. That's why players like Hull will need to step up and take on more responsibility. If they do, the Fever will be a dangerous team. Lexie Hull has always been a hard worker, but the 2025 season could be her biggest challenge yet. With the Fever adding new players, she will have to fight for her minutes. Can she prove that she belongs on the court? Hull's defense has never been in question. She hustles, she fights for loose balls, and she takes on tough matchups. But to earn a bigger role, she will need to be more consistent on offense. If she can knock down open shots and make smart plays, she could become one of the most important role players on the team.
Xander Lassini, some good length on the perimeter on Kalen. That is a tough pass, and somehow she got it in.
Man, the pass.
The Fever are trying to make a deep playoff run. Every player will have to step up. Hull has the chance to show that she is more than just a bench player. She can be a key part of a winning team. The Fever have the pieces to be great. With Caitlin Clark leading the way, Aaliyah Boston dominating inside, and a strong supporting cast, they have a real shot at making a playoff run. But the road won't be easy. Stephanie White has a plan, but the players need to execute it. Role players like Lexie Hull will have to step up. The team will need to stay healthy, stay focused, and play their best basketball when it matters most. So, can the Fever go deep in the playoffs? Can Hull prove she deserves a bigger role? And will Clark's leadership be enough to take them to the next level?